Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're all doing well. So, yeah, right now it is like the coldest part of winter here in Michigan. And right away, Tim's here. Hey, Tim, welcome in. Good to see you. He says, good evening from snowy and bitter cold Western Kentucky. And I left off Ryobi from that poll. Yes. I don't think I have a Ryobi 5-inch sander. So I thought I would show you the 3 that I have. So this is a video that I'm going to be working on pretty soon. So this, so I have this DeWalt one right here. This is the one that I probably use the most. And before that, Milwaukee had this Generation 1 5-inch Orbital sander. And this one, you can just see how top, I'm sorry, I'm just reading the stream update. Hopefully the stream is strong enough that everybody's able to hear me okay. So this one is just too top heavy, and your hand is quite a ways. Your hand is quite a ways from the work surface, where this one you're a little closer. But now with the new Milwaukee one, I have that sander. I reviewed it, but it's in one of my pack outs here, and I just thought about showing you this right before going live. So I don't have that at the moment, but this one right here is sent to me to borrow from my friend Rob at the Tool Show. So this is the newer Bosch one right here. And you can see how your hand is like really close to the work surface. So I'd like to know in that poll, I was going to see if anyone has voted so far, which one you guys like between those 3 at least. Oh, Tim says he can hear me. Okay, good. Yeah, I just was looking at my screen over here. All of a sudden it says error. You're not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. So hopefully my stream is, the Wi-Fi is strong tonight. Another thing I wanted to talk about real quick, I had someone reach out to me recently asking about a video that I posted probably like 3 years ago. I was at a Milwaukee pipeline event, and Steve, their president, was talking about a snowblower, like the rumor of a snowblower, and he heard like the guys were working on it. He didn't know about it or something, like a secret project. So now everybody's just kind of waiting to see if Milwaukee will come out with a snowblower. So I guess a question I have, I was talking to somebody else in the comments, whether or not they would do all M18 batteries or if they would go to their MX Fuel, the big brick battery, which would be quite a bit more expensive. So I'm wondering if you guys are into Milwaukee tools, would you rather see them do an MX series or load up probably like 4 to 6 M18 batteries, maybe 4 with a 12 amp hour? That would probably give you some pretty decent power. So I'm just curious what you guys think on that. So let's see, I'm going to look over here at the comments. All right. So I'm going to just get into the tool news. This might be a little bit of a fast or shorter show tonight, a live stream. So this was actually from the last 2 weeks. So let's go over here, and if you can hang on just a second, I have to just move something on my other screen over here. All right. All right. So yeah, these are the announcements that I have. All right, so right away, Milwaukee has a 12-inch rafter square right here, $27.97. I think Empire, I'm not sure if Empire makes one that size. I definitely own one in the plastic series. This one being a durable aluminum body, high visibility, laser etched markings, 1/8-inch scribe notches, and has a wider heel, which gives you a better hold on the material. All right, and this one right here, this, I believe, I didn't get a chance to actually cover these when I was at the pipeline event. This is their new switch tank design, like their generation 2. When the first generation came out, I did review that on my channel, and it worked pretty well for me, but I've heard people complain that when you get low that it doesn't finish spraying all that out, and there may have been some issues with the pump lasting a long time. So one thing I noticed when I put that pump on, it's just if I fill that tank all the way, just the way the first generation was, it was just so heavy on me that it just felt like it was better just to leave about a gallon out when you go to use it, because it didn't really sit that well on my back. So I'm excited to try this one right here, but the first generation worked well. If I just had a little bit less added to it, then I could manage it. And then there's other sprayers I have that hold the same capacity. I can't remember if it's like 4 gallon, and I've been fine with that. So this one right here, this is the same switch tank series. So it's $3.99. So if you want to take one tank, if you're looking up here at this, so you could have one for just water. If you're doing, let's say like concrete, adding water to when you're cutting concrete to keep that silica dust out. Then if you want to have one for maybe like cleaner for like siding, something like that, let's say you're doing pressure washing. And then if you want to have a third tank, they're $1.99 for additional tank. You don't have to worry about the cross contamination. You could do another one for, let's say, like your weed killer. So each tank has its own pump in it, so you can not have to worry about cross contaminating the different liquids. So yeah, you can see 140 PSI, 24-inch spray distance. So if you're, like I said, doing like pressure washing, cleaning siding on houses, that 24 feet will get you up there quite a ways. And this, yeah, with the 3 amp hour battery on mode 3, which I believe is like right in the middle, this, you can get 20 tanks. You can spray 20 tanks with it, up to 20 tanks. And the range on this is 0.1 to 0.52 gallons per minute. And it has a dual diaphragm pump with the Viton seals. So if you're into looking at tanks, that's like the gold standard, the Viton brand of seals. I remember talking to somebody about that. And yeah, I mentioned each one has this isolated tank. So yeah, the comments are kind of quiet tonight. Hopefully everything is working still. I have another screen over here I'm looking at just to make sure that the live stream is still going. Before I upgraded my router, I had problems like with the live stream shutting down. And then I spent some money on a antenna for my router. I have the T-Mobile antenna. So that so far has given me enough power to do my live streams. But right now I have it sitting inside my house. When it warms up enough, I'm going to put that antenna outside the house and aim it in the direction that it needs to go. So hopefully that will give me even stronger Wi-Fi so I don't get these warnings that I'm getting right now. All right. So yeah, I was trying to see with the poll here. Okay, so yeah, we had someone vote for Bosch and someone for DeWalt and someone for, yeah, so 40% Milwaukee, 40% DeWalt. And Bosch was the lowest so far. That's interesting. Danny Hector, what was your favorite part of World of Concrete? One of the surprise visits that I had was, I was going to see if I had them here, the Stealth Mount Company. I didn't know they were going to be there, and I heard about them and had a chance to test them out. They actually sent me some stuff and that's something I'm going to spend a couple days going through my garage. I just they're very easy to install, but the thing that's taken me the longest is just figuring out where I want to organize those at. So I have all the mounts, I have the screws for them, so I'm ready to go. And yeah, what's interesting, I remember people doing like trailer walkthroughs, and they would show like their enclosed cargo construction trailer, and they would have these battery mounts. So that's all they made at that time when I started watching those videos, the Stealth mounts. But now they make so many different things that it's just amazing, like how well it's going to keep me organized. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, Danny, thank you for asking. Welcome in. And Cole, welcome in. Good evening from freezing northern Minnesota. Yeah, I bet you have it. I'm in Michigan near the Lansing area. So yeah, we have it. I think it's like 22 degrees out today. It's been pretty cold lately. So I see that we're getting a little bit of a warm up to above freezing at least, I think next Tuesday. So I'm kind of looking forward to just I have a couple of things that I'm hoping will thaw out a little bit outside. I have a gutter that I need to, it looks like it's frozen in there. I need to clean that out. So I'll probably get up on the ladder next week when it warms up enough. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, let's see. So, oh yeah, this is another. Okay, now we're back into the news right here with Ryobi. This one I was really excited about. They just recently announced this one, and it's only $49.97. It is the USB lithium misting fan kit. So that I'm very excited to see. So you get 7 hours of runtime, and it holds. I'm not even sure. If you look up here, I guess that's probably a tank that maybe goes all the way around that holds the water. And yeah, just yeah, I believe on the top up there is where you fill it. I'm not exactly sure. I have to look at it. But yeah, 7 hours of runtime on one of those little USB 2 amp hour batteries, and it has 2 speeds, so like your low and high. And these are just really nice, portable. I have the previous version that doesn't have the misting in it, and I use it all the time. If some water spills in the house or you just need a fan somewhere, you can just quick clip it on. Works really nice. And then we got a couple more things from Ryobi. They have this. Let's see. I may not have updated the launch date on this, but I know the price is $219. This is the HP brushless 18 gauge narrow crown stapler. You get 1,900 nails per charge, and it shoots between the range of 3/8 inch to 1.5. And it has, like a lot of their other ones, the tool-free depth of drive adjustment. And then this is the 1 plus HP version. So you're going to get 30% faster driving. I think I have the original non-HP version, and I had a struggle a little bit in Oak getting it to drive, and it was a little bit slower when you pull the trigger. But this one being 30% faster, you're going to be able to knock it out quicker. So I'm excited to see that. Tim said, I picked up some USB lithium lights this fall. Yeah, they make those things are just very handy to have around the house. Hey, Jeremy, welcome in. So how's it going? Do you have any snow where you're at? We had a little bit of snow today. We've had a couple of snow days in the last few weeks. So mostly it's been the wind and some drifting. After we got all the snow, that was a little bit of an issue. All right, then the next one from Ryobi right here, we have the HP brushless Airstrike 16 gauge straight finish nailer. So this one, you can see it's April 2025. I'm going to go back to the other screen. So I'm guessing that this one, the narrow crown, is going to be the same time, April 2025. I don't think it's October. I was putting this together last night, and I recall wanting to change that or not updating that yet. So this one, you get 1,800 nails per charge, and with the 16 gauge straight finish nailer, 1.25 to 2.5 tool-free depth of drive like the other one. And this one has 20% faster driving. So Jeremy's staying warm. It's cold. It's going to warm up next week. Yeah, that's same here. It's like the winters I remember growing up with. We finally have like a real winter. Danny says he is very excited for it to get over 32. Yeah, I hear you. That's for sure. And yeah, that is it for the news there. There's a little bit more. I have this other screen, and I'm going to see if this works. I need to just give me a second. There's a little bit more news from Milwaukee, and I didn't get a chance to put it. I need to move something over here. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to put it in my keynote. So almost there. All right, we're going to go to the next screen. All right. I like it when things work like that the way you want. All right, I need to move my comment screen. So I usually don't use. All right, we're gonna just move things around here a little bit. Hey Jeremy, yeah, thank you. You like the live streams? I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been difficult to go every 2 weeks going live, but it seems like the more I go live, the faster I can get prepared for it. So this one, there's just a lot of news. There's a couple different shows that have been going on. There's the WWET show that's water, wastewater. Let's see. Sorry, instead of me trying to guess, this one, wastewater equipment, treatment, and transport. So that's a pretty big show. And then there's another one that is the AHR. That was from, I think, last week or the week before. That is the air conditioning, heating, and refrigeration show. So with these two shows, you can see this. Yeah. Oh, this is the one that was in Indianapolis. The other one's in Orlando. I remember that now. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people there, people that I follow on Instagram are at this show right here. A lot of plumbers. And so Milwaukee had waited to release a lot of things for their plumbing until these two shows right here. So I won't really go through this in depth, but these are really specialized pieces of equipment, but I'll just show you what's coming up. And I don't think we have the prices yet. So right here we have the M18 Fuel Ringer Roll Groover for 1.25 inch to 4 inch schedule 1040. Oh, I guess you can read all that. So this, I believe they had this one at Pipeline. I didn't get a chance to get a video on that. Tim from Shop Tool Reviews had posted some, I don't know if he actually reviewed it, but I've seen on Instagram, it's pretty interesting how that thing just turns and puts that groove in. I don't do this type of work, so I can't really speak to it with much knowledge. And then they have a pipe diameter tape measure. So you can see right there, they're wrapping around the pipe. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The pipe diameter tape measure is dual-sided, printed with a go gauge and 1/100th inch markings that can be used to check pipe and grooved diameters. So yeah, it's very exacting. And then they have a M12 high-speed chain snake for the 1.25 to 2 inch pipes. The smaller stuff, you can see like it's what's going on in under your sinks, things like that. And then an M12 compact inspection reel, an M12 wireless monitor. So it looks like, yeah, right there is the monitor you can look at that's wireless. So you can see it's very convenient the way they have that set up. All right, I'm going to go back. Sorry, I kind of lost my comments here. All right. Yeah, Tim says, I'm a retired wastewater operator. Oh, that's interesting. So my son Sora right now is going to college to become an environmental engineer. So he's in his second year. So he's actually looking at doing an internship at a wastewater treatment plant. Danny is wondering if it's changed much since you retired and if it will keep changing, or is that technology like kind of a basic technology? What do you think? Can you improve it over the years? All right, let's go back over here. And okay, so we looked at that. Yeah, a few more things. The M12 75-foot drain camera with pack-out compatibility. That's going to be available in Q2. So yeah, that looks like that's going in the sinks as well. That's going to be something for confident facility maintenance. And then this is that AHR show. So this is something to do with mechanical. So this is the M18 brushless refrigerant recovery machine. And that should be available at Q1. So we're getting into that right now. Oh, Tim's saying that's a great line to get it to go into. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I was just talking to somebody I know that retired here in the Michigan area. And he said between him and his wife, they've been investing, and now like their net worth is like over $1 million. and he is very thankful. I think he's getting a pension from where he worked as well, and he just put his time in. He said the same thing, and now they they've invested and been very smart with their money, and he said he's glad that he did that. So I was excited to hear that. So so that's the refrigerant. I'll go back over here, and I think this might be the last one. So M18 1/2 inch to 1 inch steel pipe cutter. And some of these things, they're still waiting on the, this might be the last one. They're still waiting on the pricing, but they're just announcing it for right now. So this is the blade that you can get. So it's for 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And, I kept thinking we were done, but like I said, there's so many things here. This was very difficult for me to put into my keynote. So it's just easier for me to scroll through because I don't have all the pricing and details like that. But now it's probably on the Milwaukee website, but this was just announced to some of us this week, so we could let you guys know about it first. The M18 Fuel 10 gauge nibbler. I haven't really ever used a nibbler. They have another one that I looked at, and I seen it being demonstrated at Pipeline. It would be very handy for the mechanical people cutting sheet metal and things like that. Oh, this right here, I did cover this last year at World of Concrete. I made a video that went to all the different companies, and so I didn't feature like all Milwaukee like I did this year, but I did cover this in one of my World of Concrete videos. I think I had 2 different ones. So this one, it's been talked about and seen at 2 of the pipelines so far. And now, or maybe it was first seen at World of Concrete last year. That's what it was, 2024. And then it was at Pipeline the summer of 2024. And then now it's finally becoming available. So this one, this really looks nice. It's completely battery powered and has that vac link. So if there's certain power tools that are launching now. So when you start your power tool, let's see, I'm kind of small. This is not sure what can fit in this little camera right here. So when you start your power tool with some of the new ones, then it will automatically start that vacuum right there. So eventually, when you start getting into this vac link, pack out dust extractor, and you start getting some more updated tools, it's going to really work great. So one thing would be nice, like their track saw, if there is a way. I don't know how that's going to work. If I own some tools, then it'd be great to have that on the track saw. But there are some things, I think there's a thing you can get for your wrist that is a remote for some of these. So I'm excited for that. And then, we have streamlined ACR pivoting press rings with M18, M12 Force Logic press tools. I'm going to just go back to the comments. Sorry. Looking both directions right here. So this is kind of interesting. So Tim said, people asked if our plant had an odor. I told them it smelled like a paycheck. That's a good one. And Amanda, welcome in. She said, what tool are you most excited to use when the weather warms up? That's a good question. I do have this one without giving it any thought. So Milwaukee sent me a dedicated hedge trimmer. I think it's like 4 foot long overall. It's I have one of their articulating ones, but this one, it's not the regular length hedge trimmer. It's actually extended length. So I think it's going to work really well. I have this area of boxwoods where I think this, just standing back a little bit, it's going to give me a new perspective. So I'm really looking forward to using that. I thought about showing it. I have some out here, even like when it warms up slightly, there's still like that foliage on the boxwood. So I can show a little bit how it works and do a little bit of shaping of it. So I might do like a early launch of that, showing the specs and then just showing it. I won't be able to show it on too many things, but the boxwoods, at least, that's something I can show on. So good question. Tim says he put 18.5 years before he retired. Oh, that's great. You get a pension as well too. Yeah, that would be nice. I wish I had a pension. Cole says the pack out rolling drawer is coming out the end of April, and the snapback bump cap is coming out in May. That's good to know. Yeah, someone asked, I had that question come up. I wasn't sure when that rolling drawer, but I did see that last summer at the pipeline event. It was great. And Jeremy is asking the difference between shop vac and dust extractor machines. That is a good question. So the dust extractor machines tend to be, they have a HEPA filter in them. And the one that I have over here, it's a corded model. I've probably had that for about 5 years now. What's interesting is it has this dump. So like every like probably 5 to 10 seconds or somewhere in there, it's running, you hear it, and then you hear like a clunk, clunk. And what that does is it shakes off this first filter, like any of the dust, like drywall dust or sawdust that's on that filter. I got to move probably out of frame a little bit. So it does this little tapping type motion, and that will shake the dust back down. So you don't continually have all that stuff like being sucked up into that filter and staying there. So it just makes it more efficient. And then past that, anything that gets beyond that, it has a HEPA filter. Oh yeah, Cole said, yeah, that was you. Yeah, you were the one that asked me on Instagram about that. Yeah, I really don't, I'm curious. I don't know like what the price is on it. I think I may have had some coverage on it real quick, but it was like right at the end when I was at the pipeline, and I think a meeting was about to start, the wrap-up meeting, the question Q&A thing they had. So I just was there and didn't really get to spend the time that I wanted to. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Go over here to the Press Logic tools. Oh, man, it just keeps rolling. Like I said, they had a lot of announcements between these two shows. This is just kind of a smaller thing. The Shockwave Impact Duty Next Generation Driver Bits. Ultimate fit for superior driving experience. The brand new customized tip geometry leads to less stripping of screws on the job site. So I'm excited about that. The Impact Duty driver bits feature a long-lasting wear guard, which is a trademark tip, providing increased wear resistance, protecting the fit over the life of the bit. It seems like in my home building days, sometimes in the prefab homes we sold, sometimes they would come with Venetian blinds or they wouldn't. And if the customer wanted them in, so I'd put a lot of blinds up in my day. And it seemed like those screws that come with those would strip out pretty easy. And when they start stripping the screws, and that starts to wear the bits. So that was always a pain point for me, having to keep enough Phillips bits. And then sometimes I would just go to like Home Depot and buy my own screws, because the ones that come with those blinds were pretty cheap. And yeah, even more. So the Shockwave Impact Duty screw holding bit holders. So this one, it looks like this area right here will slide over the bit to just keep it from falling off. Jeremy's asking, how loud is the dust extractor or shop vac? The early shop vacs, like when Sears was around, I bought a Craftsman, and that thing was so loud, it sounded like a jet airplane taking off. It would just, I didn't even like to really use it that much. It was so loud. The dust extractors, I mean, they're pretty expensive. Like the shop vacs, let's say they're probably now Rigid makes, they're kind of the company that a lot of people I see use. They're probably between 80 and 120. When you get into a dust extractor, the corded model that I have, I think it's over 600. So I'm not sure what this other one is going to cost that I showed you earlier, but they are definitely quieter. There's just a lot more to them. Like I said, that HEPA filtration type system right there. So yeah, I don't really have like a decibel amount, but they're much more pleasant to work around when you have that. Let's see, does the Rigid shop vac sound like, yeah, the Rigid one, that's pretty loud too. I usually have like earbuds around, and when I'm using that, at the time when I had that Craftsman back many years ago, I didn't have the hearing protection as handy. The AirPods weren't really around. So now I just, they're so easy to carry in your pocket. You can just pop them in, and it really does a great job of sound isolation. So I would say I'd probably want to wear them if I was using the rigid one. I still have one here at my house, but I really don't use it that much. The dust extractors are just pretty big difference, and I like the noise level of that, just much more comfortable. And that is the information. That's it right there with Milwaukee. So, all right. Well, I appreciate everyone watching and with all the questions, hanging in there. So I think I'll see. I'm not sure what my schedule's like in 2 weeks, but maybe in 2 weeks I might end up. It might be 2 or 3 weeks. I'll have to see what's going on. I was going to go back out. Did I end that poll? Oh, I never did. So Milwaukee 43%. So they won that. So, but we'll see. I'm going to test the Milwaukee to the Bosch and the DeWalt one. Like I said, I don't think I have a Ryobi. So anyways, let's see. Are there any other questions? Oops. All right. So yeah, I appreciate everyone watching, and I appreciate all your questions that you left. So I will talk to, I'll just keep you guys posted. It might be 2 weeks or it might be 3, but there's a lot of tool news that's rolling in right now. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. And if you have some time you want to watch, and I posted a video from World of Concrete. That's my last one from there. That's the new concrete. It's a short video, like 5 minutes long. So if you want to check that out, that's a video that is pretty interesting. It's a great way to preserve your concrete and get a good 3 to 4 years more life out of it. I have a patio behind my house that I think is going to be a good candidate for that. So Tim says good night. Good night, everybody. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good night.